Hello and thank you for watching Kaluna Creations. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a makeup bag that has got a hidden zip, rather like this one. Except we're going to be adding some tabs onto it. So it just means until you open it you don't actually see the zip. And we are also going to be putting a lining in it too. So if you are a complete beginner, I have done a separate video if you'd like to follow the clip there, just so that it'll talk you through what equipment that you'll be needing. And the good news is you're not going to be needing anything extra for this particular tutorial. Now if you'd like to keep watching, then I will tell you what measurements you're going to be needing. Now for this one, the measurements are 23 centimeters this way by 17 this way. And we've got 4 pieces of fabric, so we've got 2 for your lining, same measurement, and then we've got 2 for your outside pieces, so we've got 4 in total, all the same measurement. Also got a zip that is 25 centimeters long. And I've also got a couple of fabric tabs to help us open and close. And these ones are 4 centimeters by 2 centimeters. You could go a little bit longer on these ones if you wanted. I'm just simply using these because that's what I had left scrap from my lining. And that's it. So with this one, it's a little bit more complicated. So what we want is your lining fabric facing down, your first piece of fabric facing up with your top of your design up here. Then get your other piece of outer fabric facing down, like that. And then your other piece of lining fabric facing up, like that. So you're making a nice sandwich. Now what you're going to do is sew all the way along here, going forwards backwards at the start and forwards backwards at the end, just to reinforce it. And what I'm going to do is just clip these in place so that it doesn't try and wriggle while I'm taking it across to the sewing machine. So I'm going to go across and do that, and then I will bring it back. Okay, so we've got our line of stitching all the way along there with the forwards back at the start and end. So now what we need to do is open it up with the lining face facing you. So your other colours on the underside. And all we need to do is press this open like that using our iron. So take it over to your ironing table, press that flat, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've just ironed that flat now. So now when I put my zip in, facing so that the actual pulley bit is facing down towards the seam, like so. If you place it perfectly central and sew all the way down this side and then all the way down this side, going forwards backwards at the start and at the end. Now if you do struggle, if your seam is coming a little bit too close to this lumpy bit when you get up here, all you need to do is when you get to about here, leave your needle in, put your presser foot up and unzip it so that when you put your presser foot back down again, you'll simply be sewing along there. Okay, shall go take that over to the sewing machine and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we've got our 2 lines of top stitching in, but because we originally sewed these together, that means that we can't actually undo our zip. So the next stage is to unpick these stitches holding the 2 pieces of fabric together, because now we're actually holding it together using the zip. So what we need to do is either grab your scissors or a stitch unpicker if you own one of these, and literally just run down the centre, just taking out those stitches, being very careful not to cut the fabric too. Like that. And now that will expose the teeth so we can actually undo it. And I'll go around and just pick those little bits of thread out in a moment. But it means that we can now undo our zip, like so. And it also hides the fact that we've got a bit of an ugly grey zip going on. So now we've exposed our zip, we can open it up to about there, so we can get our hand in later. Now put the outer fabric together and the lining fabric together, like so. And what we're going to do is just put a clip in the corner here to start with, so that it doesn't start wiggling around. Want it all to line up nicely, like so. Then get one of our tab pieces, fold it in half so it's like that, and then just slide it in fairly close to the zip, but not too high up. We don't want it make our sewing machine's life too difficult. And then either clip or pin it shut, like that. So if I show you in the inside now, can we see it just there? We've got our little tab now. When that sews in, then it just means that it'll give people something to grab as they're opening and shutting the bag. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Oops, don't want the lining in there. So same again, clip the corners so that's nice and neat. Get your tab, fold it in half and slide it in. And either pin or clip it shut, like so. Well, this fabric is moved slightly, so I'm just going to even that up now, because that's easier to do now than it is later on. That's better. Now we're going to clip the lining corners together as well, because we want those to all stay nice and straight too. Like so. Now what we want to do when we come to the actual sewing is make sure that this zip part faces in towards the lining, like so. That just means it all gets hidden inside here. It looks a lot neater and it makes your nice little angled part when you do fold it out. And the same on the other side. You want your zip to face towards the lining like that. Now as we're sewing this, we want to start about here, go forwards, backwards, go along here, do a little bit of extra reinforcement over here, go down here, up here, reinforce, down here, and to about here, and go forwards, backwards. That means it'll still leave us a nice little hole to shove our hands in, and make sure everything is nicely sewn together. So I'm going to go and take it across and do that now, and then I'll bring it back and show you what it looks like. So we've got our seam going all the way around now. And going forward backwards at the start and finish, so we've still got a little hole. Now before we want to do anything else, what we want to do is just cut these corners just to take out that bulk. So literally just snip the corners, not going too close to the actual seam. It's just to take out the main bit of bulk. So about that close. Now, once you've done that, you can do the fun bit. So pop your hand in and pray that you've made it big enough. There we are. You want to grab the bottom of the bag like that and just drag it out. Like so. Now this lining part, you'll see, still has a hole in it, because that's what we used to grab it out. Oh, hello. So what we need to do is sew that shut. Now if you go across to your iron that crease in, just because it's going to make your life a lot easier when you're putting it down the sewing machine if it's already got a nice crease. And then sew as close as you can to that edge. Just take it all the way along, going forwards, backwards at the start and finish, and that'll just close that gap. And there we go. Nice, neat line of stitching along the bottom to just keep that hole shut now. Last thing we want to do, we don't have to knot this side because my bobbin thread all got tangled in itself, so that's not going anywhere. But this end potentially could undo itself. So all I'm going to do is just give it a quick knot once and twice. Like that. Now to make this nice and neat, now we've knotted the end, what we could do is just snip it off, that's absolutely fine. But because I like to hide all my thread, what I'm going to do is just thread it onto this needle, like so, and literally poke it back into the lining. Like that, and then just poke it out wherever you fancy, like that, and just give it a tug, and they've gone inside. Then literally just snip the excess, and now your threads are nicely, neatly tucked inside here. Just do the same with the other side. So get your needle, thread the thread on, and just poke it back into the lining. So now we've tidied up the threads on both ends, all we need to do is poke the lining back inside and zip it shut, like so. And there we have it. A very funky looking bag, complete with little pull tugs? I'm not quite sure what they're called. And a nice blue lining. And that's us finished. It does look pretty cool, doesn't it? In fact, every now and again you'll come across some really cool fabric that will turn into something pretty funky. Now if you also love this bag, or even its friend from the start of the video, so like the tarmac-y type looking one. You'll be really pleased to know that you can actually buy them on my website. I've put the web address in the description below, so it's nice and easy for you to find. And the good news is, not only do you get a really cool bag, but half of that price shown also gets given to charity. So you're doing a bit of good as well as getting something cool. Now, if you did struggle with any parts of the tutorial at all and you want me to go over it again, then please do put in the comments below and I'll try my very best to keep on top of those for you. Also, if there is anything else that you'd quite like to make and you're not quite sure how to do it, then also get in touch, and if I do know, then I will certainly do one of those for you as well. Now, if you do enjoy these videos, please do like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so that every time I pop on a new video, it'll let you know, and hopefully it'll inspire you to try making something new. Hopefully I shall see you again soon.